Hi everyone. I hope you have been watching the videos that we have been sending and that they have been helpful. Today I'm going to talk to you about a few ways in which we can maintain emotional well-being, mental health during these difficult times. In our normal regular lives, each one of us from time to time sustain physical injuries, small or big ones. Sprains, cuts, scrapes keep happening, right? And when they do, we tend to those wounds. We make sure that they don't get worse. We provide the necessary first aid to ourselves. In the same way, going through our everyday experiences, we also sustain emotional injuries or mental injuries. And often, we do not take as good care of these injuries as we do of the physical ones. But these injuries too, if not tended to, can become infectious, they can get worse, they can trigger a whole other set of problems and overall take away from our experience of life. Some of the most common emotional injuries that we sustain on a regular basis are failure, rejection, guilt, loneliness, grief, the list goes on. But currently, given the circumstances that the entire world, we as humanity are facing, there are a few emotions or a few injuries which seem to be very common, and those are fear, grief or a sense of loss at having lost our old lifestyles, lost our ways of coping, and sometimes having lost people. Then there is loneliness, and along with that there is also a sense of being crowded, because we are many of us are in spaces which is shared by a lot of people. Then there is rumination and sadness, a spiral of negative thoughts which just leaves you feeling very sad. Now these are some of the things that most of us are experiencing. And let's look at a few ways in how we can deal with them. I'm just going to leave you with a few tips. The first and the most important is breaking the cycle of rumination, or breaking that cycle of negative thought that often takes over our mind. And that can be done by something as simple as a 2-minute distraction, a 2-minute positive distraction, which can help us break away from that cycle of rumination and help us feel maybe more focused or a little more positive. The other thing is that there is a lot of unpleasantness around us which often draws our attention from social media, from news, or from just even talking to friends and family members. At times like that, we need to be able to redirect our focus, redirect consciously, and choose to focus on things which might be more helpful in the present times. Another thing that seems very important is to be able to derive some meaning or some learning from the experiences that are happening around us. So for a lot of people that could mean gratitude, for a lot of people that could mean a lesson learned, a skill learned, but just something to take away from these experiences often reduces the negative impact of that experience. One other thing that comes to mind is, and it's very, very important, is to be able to speak gently and lovingly to yourself. We call it self-compassion, but it comes down to as simple as just having a kind voice in your own head that you address yourself to. So let's keep in mind these things and let's try to practice them so that we sustain fewer injuries during these times, and the ones that we sustain are healed. Thank you. Stay safe. I hope these help you.